semuanya, hai teman-teman, apa kabar? Selamat malam, waktu Norwegia. Sekarang sudah jam 11 lewat 15 menit. Kalian sudah pada ngorok kan? Yes, teman-teman. Maafkan ya, suara saya yang lagi serak-serak ini. Saya belum 100% top performance ya, tapi I do my best ya teman-teman. So, biar nggak utang saya biar bisa terbayarkan sedikit demi sedikit, oke? So ya, ini adalah video yang kalian tunggu-tunggu, Q&A time. Oke teman-teman, saya belum pernah perkenalkan diri saya. So, jadi nama saya Melinda Osafo Siagian. Osafo itu saya ambil dari nama belakang suami saya. Siagian, as you know, Siagian. Saya baru Siagian. Tentu saja ya, wong Batak. Aku wong Batak rek. Ngomong Jawa terus, tapi aku wong Batak rek. Hey, Horas. Saya menikah dengan lelaki pujaan hati saya, Mr. Osafo. Yes, dia orang Norway teman-teman, tapi originalnya dari Ghana. Oke, jadi tapi pemikiran dia sudah seperti orang Eropa, ya. Semua harus on time, semua harus terstruktur. Begitu teman-teman. Jadi kalau orang Afrika tuh ya 11-12 lah kayak kita. Nggak semua ya, tapi ya you know what I mean. Dan saya ambek Mr. Osafo 2 anak telur ya. Anak saya 2 cewek, namanya Christine, Justin, dan 1 cowok, Marcus. Oke? Christine, Justin, Marcus Osafo. Yes. Tapi tentu saja karena mereka itu ada darah Bataknya dari saya. Suami saya itu ya benar-benar suami yang sungguh menghargai kebudayaan ya, supaya dia itu tidak hilang akarnya. Karena saya itu Batak, jadi anak saya harus ada disisipkan nama-nama Bataknya ya. Mereka, suami saya maksud saya juga tidak mau menghilangkan kalau mereka juga Afrikan, jadi mereka juga menyisipkan nama Afrika. Jadi suami saya itu benar-benar orang yang tahu akarnya itu di mana. So ya, Christine is Christine Thiur, it's Batak name, you know, Thiur. Pasti ada nama Afrikanya juga, Christine Thiur Osafo. Terus ada Justin Rumondang. Hey Rumondang, anakku ya Batak-Batak Rumondang Norgor Osafo. So yes, Marcus Hamonangan Obeng Osafo. Yes, suami saya bilang tidak boleh dilupakan akarnya. Masuk jarene awakmu ya kudu ini anak-anak harus bisa belajar bahasa Batak. Ya apa aku kayak iso bahasa Batak ngurui apa? Ya udah suruh di kampung aja, sekolah di kampung katanya. My suami sungguh lucu bener ya. Tapi I'm proud of him. Dia sungguh menyisipkan semua kebudayaan kita, karena dia bilang kita jangan pernah melupakan akar-akar dari mana kita berasal. Jadi apalagi teman-teman, oh ya, kita kita move ke Norway baru 6 tahun yang lalu. So ya, jadi kita sebelum Norway absolutely kita tinggal di negara lain. Oke, so let's into the question, oke? Ini saya jawab pertanyaan tentang anak-anak saya dulu ya. Pertanyaan begini, Kak, Justin K-popers ya Kak? Oke. Let's call my girls. Justin, Christine. Hi. So, you guys have to answer this. Ayo job. Okay. Tadi katanya Justin anak K-popers ya Kak? So Justin, jawab dulu.
Yes, I'm K-popper. It's because it was, I think I started in 2021, because the people at my school liked K-pop, or most of the people in my class, the girls, so I was like, maybe. And then Kristen liked it obviously, so I was like, oh okay, maybe I should also like this.
Maybe you also like this. So maybe, but actually kamu suka apa enggak?
Yeah.
So like which groups do you like?
And Hypen and Stray Kids. That's all.
Okay, boy groups then.
Or I'm not really girl groups then, but I like their dances better. Girl group.
Huh? That's it?
Ready?
Okay,
Okay, guys.
Christine.
So, yeah, I used to like K-pop. Like, wait, did I start 2019 or 20 something? Like around COVID time, I think. Yeah, I like K-pop, and I was a big ARMY.
Oh ya,
BTS.
BTS at the beginning. Kamu suruh mama beli itu apa yang gininya itu yang
The poster.
iya, iya. Oh,
I
iya
was
iya
the
iya.
biggest ARMY, and I'm still an ARMY, even though I wasn't as crazy like baby ARMY as I was back then. But I basically right now I used to stand Stray Kids like a lot. I still stand them, but I don't keep up with them as much. Like I also listen to I listen to everything hip hop, but I just don't stand them like that much as I used to before. I like some girl groups like. I like what's called New Jeans because like who
New
doesn't
Jeans
like
tuh yang
New
mana?
Jeans? Huh?
New Jeans tuh yang mana?
It's like the new girl group, you know, that got me looking for attention.
The dance
That
level.
just seen it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yang gitu. Aku nggak ngerti
I
apa
love
itu.
New Jeans, and yeah, my bias is Stray Kids right now. Who's my bias? Changbin, guys. Changbin's my bias. Okay.
Aku nggak ngerti rek ngomong apa iku. My bias Changji. Chang apa?
Changbin.
Chang.
My bias is Sunmin.
Chang.
Okay, yeah.
Oh iku, gak tahu.
So I listen to everything. Let me know if you guys want the playlist. I'll definitely drop it in the comments. Yeah. Because I got the best music taste.
Nobody wants to play that.
I know you guys want my playlist.
Okay, that's all.
Yep.
Sekarang ada yang tanya juga begini, Kak, anak-anak usianya berapa? Oke, anak-anak usianya berapa? Jadi biarkanlah anak-anak yang menjawab. Oke, usia. Oke, start from
Oldest?
the oldest to the youngest. Oke?
Guys, I know I look old.
No, no one don't say that.
I'm only 15, guys. I'm just tall, okay?
Teman-teman,
I'm only 15.
dia masih 15 tahun ya. Itu yang bilang, mama mertua. Hey, mama mertua masih panjang itu perjalanannya. They call me, apa itu namanya itu? Mother-in-law. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so,
Masih
guys,
panjang,
I was
oke?
in 9th grade, okay? I'm going to 10th grade this year. I'm 170 centimeters, so I look
No.
really tall. No, but it's true! Okay.
That's quite, ya. Memang dia lebih tinggi dari saya, tapi dia masih anak-anak, guys. Oke, masih teenager, oke? Dan Justin,
Nulti. I'm 14 years old.
Nulti, snack, du nog, dingat.
2010. I'm 14 years old. I'm in 8th grade going into 9. I know I look exactly my age.
Maybe even younger.
Nobody has any doubts about my age. But I'm still taller than Mama.
How?
I'm 168 centimeters.
That is.
I've been taller than her for a long time now.
Ada lagi cari nak ke kuntet, rek.
You still have baby face though.
Oke, anak terakhir ya, anak cowok satu-satunya. Oke, introduce yourself.
My name is Marcus. I'm born 2012 and I'm 11 years old.
Oke, kelas berapa?
Sixth.
Sixth grade. Kelas is going to oke, mau kelas ya. Kelas 6 mau ke kelas 7. Oke. Dia anaknya teman-teman gak banyak ngomong, anaknya tuh pokoknya nggak suka yang cincong-cincong, jadi ya dia ngomong seadanya aja ya. Itu oke lah ya. Yang penting dia mau on cam, though that is good enough. Itu sudah bagus. Oke, sekarang ada juga yang bertanya tentang sekolah ya, pendidikan, sistem pendidikan. Pertanyaan begini, Kak, bagusan di mana, sekolah negeri di Norway atau sekolah internasionalnya? Gitu. Jadi gini ya, jadi saya bahas dulu tentang pendidikan anak saya pertama pas datang ke Norway. Oke, kalau di sekolah Norwegia kan basically bahasanya bahasa Norway ya, Norwegian language. So anak saya Norwegian ya, automatically Norwegian, otomatis orang Norway karena suami saya Norwegian. Unfortunately, they don't speak the language. Mereka tidak berbahasa Norwegia teman-teman, karena tidak pernah tinggal di Norway dan ya papanya juga bahasa Inggris, yang ada mother tongue bukan father tongue. Jadi karena mereka biasa papanya bahasa Inggris sama saya, jadi ya semua pakai bahasa Inggris gitu. Jadi waktu itu sebelum kita ke Norway juga ada neneknya sama kita, jadi ya mereka biasa pakai bahasa Indonesia juga sama nenek, karena mama saya tidak bisa pakai bahasa Inggris juga. Jadi ya mereka ngerti, paling nggak mereka ngerti pakai bahasa Indonesia, dan mereka conversation ke neneknya aja pakai bahasa Indonesia. Ke saya jawabnya bahasa Inggris, nggak tahu kenapa. Kenapa kalian tidak mau menjawab pertanyaan pakai bahasa Indonesia, padahal kalian bisa. Mungkin karena mereka tahu saya ngerti pas mereka bahasa Inggris ya. Karena kalau ngomong bahasa Indonesia mereka harus mikir begini. Oke, effortnya tuh lebih. So ya, balik lagi. Jadi pertama kita 6 tahun yang lalu kita ke Norway, anak-anak itu nggak bisa bahasa Norway teman-teman, karena mereka mereka sudah kebiasaan di sekolah internasional, jadi bahasa Inggris terus. Jadi nggak mungkin saya kasihan teman-teman masukkan mereka ke sekolah Norwegia ya. Jadi salah satu alasannya kita ke Norway itu untuk anak-anak bisa bahasa Norwegia, karena mereka orang Norway, keluarga negara Norwegia kan. Sayang banget ya, masanya gila. Masa kamu take advantage-nya, ambil yang kebaikannya aja. Kamu orang pakai paspor Norway, kemana-mana gampang, nggak kayak saya. Kalau mau kemana-mana harus urus visa dulu gitu kan. Nggak kayak gitu, jadi mereka harus juga ada tantangannya. Mereka juga harus membuktikan mereka orang Norway. Makanya kita memutuskan untuk pindah ke Norway, supaya my children bisa bahasa Norway. So, tapi kita nggak langsung ujuk-ujuk kayak shock gitu kan ya, nggak ngerti blas apa-apa, langsung kemasukin ke sekolah Norway, nggak mungkin gitu, kasihan juga. Jadi saya daftarkan mereka ke international school di kota saya, IB school ya, IB school, selama itu was berapa tahun? Ya, how long you been in
6 months in the IB school.
January.
At first,
in the 6 months and then you move into.
Norwegian school.
Oh, oke. Jadi mereka pindah, saya lupa, benar-benar lupa. Jadi mereka cuma 6 bulan aja di international school, terus sudah mengenalkan ya, maksudnya ya sudah ada, kalau mereka keluar-keluar denger ada orang bahasa Norway gitu ya, sudah ada pemanasan lah kupingnya gitu ya. So saya sudah confident, saya sudah percaya diri, oke lah, saatnya boleh melepaskan mereka ke Norwegian school. Jadi mereka pindah ke sekolah Norwegia. It was how long was it?
In Norwegian school?
I don't know what is exactly the years, but it's around 3-4 years. Pokoknya sekitar 3-4 tahun. Dan mereka kembali lagi ke international school. Why? What was the reason you guys back to international? Saya juga lupa. What was the reason saya? I've forgotten. Biarkan mereka yang cerita. Jadi, so about the different, what was the different? Apa perbedaannya? Sekolah negeri, the government school in Norway and the IB school. Kan kalian pernah sekolah dua-duanya, jadi kalian tahu perbedaannya bagaimana, bagusan mana atau gimana? Just cerita aja.
Okay, so like for Norwegian school, it's better obviously if you're planning to stay in the country, because then you actually really pick up the language much easier, because like it's for every subject, right? But we found out that like the Norwegian school system, at least like for the children in like primary years, it was very easy.
That's the reason. That's the reason. Yeah.
Compared to like Indonesian, like what we used to go to school before, right?
But you were in the international school anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But like for example, in 7th grade in Norwegian school, we were still doing simple multiplication, so
yeah.
that was a little bit. Yeah, and then
But yeah, the Norwegian system, they're slow. Yeah, they just take it easy, right?
yeah, and then later on in like high school, then that's when they actually.
Yeah. That was the reason. I remember that one.
In 5th grade, which is when I left the school at least.
From Norwegian school.
Norwegian school, we just started learning brøk. What is brøk? Fractions. So, and we were supposed to learn that, but we learned that in second grade in the international school. So, going to Norwegian school made me dumb.
Yeah, I kind of forgot a lot of what I did before.
It just, or like, it didn't make me dumb, but it just didn't push me.
Nggak motivation ya, not motivate you become a harder like that ya.
It
Just
wasn't that
take it
challenging
easy like gitu ya.
We didn't have tests or anything. It was like a national prøve. It was like once a year or something.
And you only get tests when you go in like high school and elementary Norwegian
Yeah,
schools.
barn.
Yeah, but that's the idea. As children, you only get to be a child.
Ya, di sini teman-teman sekolah SD tuh take it easy ya. Jadi nggak ada yang kayak siapa yang pintar gitu. Nggak, walaupun yang mungkin ada anak yang keterbelakang, maksudnya slow gitu ya dalam pelajaran gitu. Tapi mereka nggak ada di sini. Kamu nggak naik kelas itu nggak ada teman-teman. Semua anak harus naik kelas. Dan di sini nggak ada grade, nggak ada apa nilai gitu, nilai kayak rapor gitu dia nggak ada seperti itu teman-teman. Jadi semua anak sama. Jadi mereka itu kayak anak-anak nggak boleh gini. Apa ya, nanti anaknya jadi depressed, jadi apa, jadi let children be children, jadi take it easy.
Yeah, that's one thing I like about
Ya, jadi nggak ada
Very, very.
what do you call it, competition. There's no competition.
At all.
Nggak ada. Jadi sekolah SD-nya tuh dari kelas 1 sampai kelas 7 teman-teman, 7 years. Di Indonesia kan kelas 1 sampai kelas 6 ya, di sini 7 tahun teman-teman. Jadi di sini nggak ada diskriminasi, kamu pintar ya pintar sama, anak-anak nggak boleh tinggal kelas, semua harus naik kelas. Jadi take it easy. Itu saya sih, aku nggak tahu itu positif or negatif, I don't know what is.
It has its own
Yeah.
It has its own lesson.
I don't know.
It's not.
Maybe in Indonesia some people gonna say it's negative because it's you must motivate yourself. But
you
in
have one chance to be a child.
Yeah, I
you have
know.
all the time in your life to be an adult.
Ya itu pro and kontra ya teman-teman. Teman setuju nggak tentang sistem pendidikan di negeri di Norwegia? Yes or no? Just comment below teman-teman ya. Okay? So yes, that's for my children question and thank you guys. Sudah jawab semua pertanyaan teman-teman mama, saudara-saudara mama online yang ada di sana. Oke? Thank you. Dan juga ada pertanyaan tentang Justin yang kemarin kerja. Oke? Yes, itu bakalan saya bikin video ini ya, terpisah teman-teman ya, karena itu ceritanya panjang dan prosesnya panjang. Jadi soon saya akan up videonya tentang Justin kerja apa atau gimana apa yang dia kerjakan, semuanya saya bakal jelasin itu di next video, oke? Dan next ada yang juga bertanya begini, sorry ya kok ada bulu erung. Ada yang bilang, Mbak Linda, sampai nggak pengen ngajak sak keluarga nang Indonesia apa, mudik nang Indonesia apa? Yo re, anakku ngene ya tetep nang Indonesia. Anak saya tuh ada 3 warga negara, ya, privilege. Jadi Norwegian, Ghanaian, Indonesia. Jadi of course, tentu saja saya pengen ngajak anak saya mudik. Dan itu harus dibagi-bagi teman-teman. Mereka kan nggak cuma dari Indonesia aja ya. Saya tentu juga mau ngajak mudik mereka ke Ghana juga. Dan yes, terakhir kita mudik. When was the last time we visit Indonesia?
2022? No?
2022.
Iya, kayaknya 2 tahun yang lalu deh. 2 tahun yang lalu abis COVID gitu ya. After COVID ya.
Yeah.
Ya.
After COVID, that was.
Sorry. Iya, jadi anak saya mudik terakhir tahun 2022. Ya, itu terakhir kali. Yes. Minta doanya teman-teman supaya segera bisa berkunjung lagi ke Indonesia. Of course, mau ketemu neneknya, nenek sendiri sana. Dan teman-teman juga bertanya, kenapa sih mamanya Kak Linda nggak dibawa ke Norwegia? Teman-teman, tak segampang itu nggak segampang itu ya teman-teman. Tahu mama saya itu nggak bisa nggak bisa tolerate itu, nggak bisa menghadapi cuaca yang ekstrim sekali. Yang winter di sini kan ekstrim banget, minusnya itu tinggi banget, it could be 25, 30 minus. Kan gila kan, mama saya tidak bisa itu. Orang kena angin dikit langsung masuk angin. Gak mungkin teman-teman ya. Mama saya itu ada kayak ada dulu dia pernah kecelakaan ya, di kakinya tuh ada pennya. Jadi kalau kena dingin sedikit itu agak ngilu-ngilu teman-teman, nggak mungkin. Dan tentang society di sini yang kita dipaksa menjadi orang introvert yang nggak ono tetangga kanan kiri, deloib kalau apalagi kalau sudah winter, gelap di mana-mana, tidak ada teman-teman. Kita ada kehidupan nyata itu pas summer, memasukin summer tuh baru kita melihat tetangga. Kalau nggak summer ya nggak mungkin kita lihat tetangga, gitu nggak bisa. Mama saya tuh hobinya nyangkruk ambil mau cerita-cerita, gosipnya apa? Itu mama saya. Lanang kene, terus kayak sok bahasane, kok ada wong-wong, kan nggak bisa. Jadi itu salah satunya. Dan juga makanan teman-teman, susah banget di sini ya. Mama saya itu kan makanannya bener-bener yang Indonesia banget, nggak mungkin gitu bisa adab dengan makanan yang di sini. Cari ikan, mama saya suka ikan. Di sini cari ikan susah banget. Mau sok ngongkor mangan salmon terus yang blenger, ya. So itu salah satunya kenapa mama saya tidak bisa join ke sini. Tapi ya, yes, I pray, saya berdoa one day I could stay, ya saya bisa tinggal bersama-sama dengan mama saya, ya. Anak-anak kan bakalan juga menjadi ini ya, dewasa kan, mereka study, dia bakal study kemana, melanglang dunia semua kan, dia punya kehidupan mereka masing-masing. Nah saat itu saya balas dendam secara positif, saya mengabdi ke mama saya. Yes. Sekarang yang selanjutnya, Kak, tiap hari dong bikin YouTube-nya gitu ya. Keluarga sampean tuh ngangenin. I wish I can make it every day. Aduh, teman-teman nggak mungkin, teman-teman mak rumah tangga seperti saya. Banyak sekali kegiatannya. Kalau saya fokus tiap hari bikin YouTube, koranku numpuk. Kak iso teman-teman. Jadi mohon maaf teman-teman ya. Saya ini edit sendiri ya, bikin video sendiri. Jadi belum sampai ke situ teman-teman. Mungkin nanti kalau saya sudah berkembang ya, sudah banyak subscribernya, sudah banyak yang nonton, saya mungkin I'll think about that. Maybe I hire someone yang mau membantu saya. Who knows kan? Jadi karena ini masih masih saya sendiri mak merangkap juga tukang editor. Jadi ya mohon maaf teman-teman, appreciate, saya terima kasih buat teman-teman yang menunggu video saya. Oke, nah yang kalian tunggu-tunggu bersama sayangku cintaku hanya untukmu, suami tercinta. Dia bilang, kenapa sih Mbak Linda nggak mau nggak mesra sama suaminya? Mau saya kata tak sosor gini, kan nggak ada anak-anak. Nggak usah, itu di belakang layar aja, rahasia dapur ya. Yang nanya, gimana kenalan sama suaminya, ketemunya di mana, terus berapa lama nikahnya, terus pokoknya gitu-gitu deh, pokoknya hal-hal yang menjurus ke saya dan suami gitu, pokoknya basically di mana kita ketemu gitu. So sayang, where we met and when. Oke, cintaku sayang hanya untukmu, explain.
Okay, yeah. Always an interesting question how we met. I mean, yes, I mean, we met when I first arrived in Indonesia. My first time I was on my way to Timor-Leste to do some projects working with the United Nations Agency, the International Organization for Migration. So yeah, I did a lot of work in East Timor. Yes, it was about introducing, modern technologies in in developing countries. I mean, so you use the best technologies but they have to be able to work in countries without good infrastructure. Because I mean, today, I mean, everything technology based requires electricity. It requires, I mean, being able to have air conditioning for systems, and I mean, educating the people to use it and all those things. It's quite a big thing. I stayed there for. We lived there how long? I mean,
Yes, it's been long time.
yeah, well, I lived there from 2005 until 2017. That was when I finished my last project.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and yeah, so how we met, I mean, yeah, well, I mean, when I met Linda, the first time I was actually, I've just been in Bali on my way to East Timor, and I was eating dinner with a friend, I mean, who also works for the UN. And, you know, I mean, well, I hadn't been in Indonesia before, so everything was new for me. So it took me to this good place where the food, I mean, especially the fish and stuff, was just fantastic, and I was hungry. So I had I could hear some music in the background and everything, but I mean, yeah, I was so hungry, I was focused on eating my food. But then when the music started, I mean, the voice which came out, I said, oh, I mean, I wasn't looking at the person or anything, I mean, but the voice was just, I mean, mind-blowingly good.
Gombal!
Very soulful and very, very impressive. So, yeah, I didn't even, I mean, I don't know how to say, but it wasn't my intention to engage or anything, but as I always tell, I mean, everyone is, I fell in love first with Linda's voice before I even saw her, you know, so she kind of accused me of engaging with her because, I mean, she's beautiful, so of course.
Of course, sayang. Of course. When you turn your back and then you say the woman is so ugly like that, of course you're gonna say, stay back.
No.
Stay back.
No, the voice was good enough. That
Yes,
was
sayang. Oh,
fantastic.
so jelek. If jelek, I don't think you like me.
No.
Of course.
No, but
you see the appearance.
Yes, but I love your voice. That's good enough. A good enough beginning, and you know you can grow it and make it into something.
But
good.
the appearance is also help.
Very big, yeah. Yes.
Yes.
You
Makanya aneh deh. Dia bilang aku suka sekali suara. Pertama aku jatuh cinta dengan suaramu. Bahkan sebelum aku, soalnya kan dia makannya gini kan. Terus dia dengar suaranya kan saya kan penyanyi teman-teman. Saya dulu, halo, pekerjaan saya dulu penyanyi di hotel, pokoknya di segala macam, di restoran, pokoknya begitu. Terus dia makan di salah satu tempat saya nyanyi bekerja gitu kan, dia makan itu membelakangi saya. Dia bilang, oh saya dengar suara itu, saya jatuh cinta dengan suaranya. Iya, masa kalau dia pas balik badan gini gini apa, saya nyanyi untuk boneng itu, saya masih tetap cinta, masih tetap suka. I doubt it if at that time I was so ugly, you still going to like me, sayang.
I think I've answered that question.
Oh ya oke deh. Oke. Ya sudahlah.
Yeah.
Oke.
Yeah. So what was the next question?
So how long we've been married? And then currently what you do now?
Yeah. So that's 16 years, right? Yeah. So
Okay.
Yeah. But we've known each other longer, right?
Ya,
Of
jadi
course,
in total about like I think almost 20 years ya.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jadi kita kayak udah 20 tahun gitu teman-teman mengenal gitu ya. What you do?
What to do now? I'm just a businessman. Yeah. I look at opportunities. I mean, because luckily I have, I'm from 2 continents, in Europe and Africa. I use those as a basis for exploring opportunities where you can be able to take good things out of Africa, and be able to sell it around the world, and also good things from Europe, which will make some improvements to lives and occupations in Africa too. So I'm not talking about the whole of Africa. As you know, it's about 54 countries. So, but mostly I work with East and West Africa. So I do travel a lot, yes, but that is me too. I always love traveling. I used to work on ships just because I could travel around the world, places for free, while still earning an income. So that's how I started my love of travel.
Yes.
In the world,
Yes.
So, and I always say that, when God created this planet, He never put any borders. He gave us this whole planet, so we should have it. I think that is the basis for, it's not even religious, but this is something that is a fact. Borders are created by people, but God has created human beings and everything else. So, when you take it into that perspective, you should feel comfortable to be able to explore all the things that God has given us.
Yeah.
All right? So,
don't set your boundaries.
It's just great. Yeah. Don't limit your boundaries. There are no boundaries for you.
Yes. Explore, teman-teman. Explore.
Yes.
Oke, teman-teman. Terima kasih. I think that's all from us. Sudah saya jawab sebisa dan semampu saya, teman-teman. So kurang lebih kalau ada yang salah-salah, saya minta maaf. Kalau tidak memuaskan ya minta maaf juga gitu. Jadi ya basically I do my answer sebaik mungkin yang bisa saya berikan ya teman-teman. Jadi ya itu tadi Q&A dari kami. Moga-moga teman-teman lebih selangkah lebih dekat dengan kami. Oke? So thank you buat semua teman-teman yang sudah engage, yang sudah meluangkan waktunya untuk memberikan pertanyaan di IG story saya. Terima kasih, saya sangat menghargai. Sehat selalu teman-teman. Dan yes, thank you for all the subscriber. Terima kasih atas semua supporting kalian. So, yeah. I see you again in my next video. I see you guys. Bye. God bless.
God bless you all. And thank you for your support. Okay? So you have a good morning or evening or any time of day which is there for you. Okay?
Bye.
Stay blessed. Bye.